Hello everyone, I'm Joe Zagacki and welcome to Hurricane Game Day with University of Miami women's head coach Katie Meier. Josh Darrow joins me in just a second along with the coach, and coming up on the show, Coach Meier joins us as we talk Hurricanes women basketball. We'll take you onto the court and into the locker room with everybody's favorite segment, Unlimited Access. And Canes superstar guard Raquana Williams, aka Bebe, sits down with Josh Darrow to talk nicknames and hoops. Don't go anywhere. Hurricane Game Day starts right now.
Good, 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 good. Nice, 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 good. Where's the shooter? Oh, yeah! Miami.
And welcome to Hurricane Game Day with University of Miami head coach Katie Meier here on CSS. Joe Zagacki alongside University of Miami coach Katie Meier, and Josh Darrow joins us as well. The Hurricanes women's basketball team, the hottest team in South Florida, the hottest basketball team in South Florida right now, winning at home 21 in a row, 6-1 in the ACC. Coach, congratulations, great start and a great win, a couple of great wins this past week at the Bank United Center. Let's start with the Georgia Tech game.
Well, just a crucial victory for us on our team. I think it was just all grit. I mean, it wasn't pretty at all, but it was just a bunch of mental toughness and a lot of hustle plays. And it always comes down to that against Georgia Tech. Every game we play them comes down to the last possession or overtime. In the last 6 years, it's been that way. So another great performance by Raquana Williams and Shanice Johnson, but Morgan Stroman's double-double, I think, really made the difference.
Coach, we were talking. So was that a fun game to coach, or an agonizing game to coach?
You know what? It's funny because I had a couple of our signees that texted me and said, "Coach, were you nervous?" And I said, I wasn't nervous. I was so mad that we were so flat to start the game that I just had this energy of like just this push and this drive. And then I watched the game afterwards, and I got a little nervous.
Georgia Tech has become a pretty good rivalry because usually the games are always tight, and once again, this one goes to overtime.
Yeah, and we recruit in each other's backyard. I mean, there's a lot of commonalities between the two programs. I think they play hard and we play hard. And we Atlanta and Miami, they recruit the same cities a lot. So a lot of mixed experiences in that game, and I thought it was just amazing how our team. We wanted to play with a ton of emotion, but we wanted to have our composure, and I think that was what it was. We played with composure.
All right, so Raquana Williams, Bebe, 27. Maybe you guys had a different different look at her start to the game, right? But we can all agree that she came through for you in the clutch.
Yeah, ACC opponents the coaches are great, and they're going to scheme, and they're going to try to take Bay and Mo out of the game early. And so then it's a matter of me watching and then seeing with the staff, talking how they playing and what do we need to do. So it's hard for them to start off early, really well. And so throughout the course of the game, we have to change the timing of our attacks for them. And it takes a while. So I had to sit Bebe down early in the game and then just kind of talk her through it and then get her back in, and then she exploded.
Well, it clearly worked. That was good strategy on your part. All right, this is my favorite part of the show, one of my favorite parts of the show, as Coach Meier and her staff and players have granted us unlimited access to her team. This week, we take you onto the court and into the locker room during the Canes ACC matchup against Boston College.
They choose to maybe pass up the court to break a press. We choose to go until we're stopped, right? They choose to play in the air. We choose to knock that ball on the ground and go get it on the ground, okay? They choose to big possession, probably run a high-low. We choose to attack, attack, attack. We are Miami. We will choose to be Miami, and we will not back down from being who we are tonight. We're getting this game. We are getting this game. Miami.
So easy for her.
Williams, nifty move.
I mean, like a football player going through an offensive line.
Johnson, baseline. Yeaterstrom corner.
That's a willing passer in Shanice Johnson, and why she's one of the most versatile players.
Murphy, great drop step. Missed the bunny. Johnson, Stroman, Williams. Oh, that's nice.
Unselfish.
Wow. That's not a shy freshman, is it? Kristen Doherty, a step back three. All game long. Boston College throws it away. Johnson. And Miami with points off a turnover. Slices into the lead even more. That can make baseline inbound plays difficult to defend, but Johnson has the steal with Saunders. And she'll lay it up and in, and Miami has their first lead since early in the first half. How does Boston College react? Johnson the steal. And just like that, Shanice Johnson and the Hurricanes have come roaring back and taken a 37-34 lead, a 10-0 run. Williams. Man!
I even think Raquana looked at Tolman before she pulled the trigger like, this is mine.
Another three. Another bomb.
That's not even hitting the rim.
Williams again.
Great cut. Good down screen.
Williams.
See
Oh!
it right there.
A dagger.
That might be the one.
Chemistry of this team defensively in the coverage. Stroman, Sil, you guys don't get enough credit. You guys are everywhere. You are making reads. You're one time you did the up and back and they missed a little pull up and it was a huge play for us. So you guys are so smart. I really think you guys did a great job. I don't think I've ever been more amazed by a team than I was by you guys today. Don't cry.
All right, very good stuff. All right, Coach, almost tears of joy. You really love this team, and you get worked up with them.
I do. They're very special, and we're an emotional team. I'm an emotional coach, and I don't hide it. I think the thing I love about this team the most is we're very authentic. In the locker room, we speak the truth. In the film room, we speak the truth. But then when you get to celebrate something so special and a gritty comeback, I'm going to let them know how proud I am of them, how much I love them, and usually that makes me choke up.
Well, the other thing too, that also has to, in times like that, you show your true emotion, but that emotion can help fuel this team
Right.
To the start you've been on to and really lay that passion out on the court.
Yeah, there's been about 3 or 4 games that we just did it with absolute heart, and we were mismatched or had things go against us, and then we just rally with some spirit and then overcome it. And it's awful fun to coach. It's exhausting, but it's fun.
Hurricanes are off to a great start at 6-1. We are just getting warmed up on the show right now. Don't go anywhere as we continue. When we come back, we'll talk more hoops with Coach Meier, and we'll introduce you to the leading scorer in the ACC, Canes guard Raquana Williams. Will join us as we continue on Hurricane Game Day here on CSS. We're coming right back. Welcome back to Hurricane Game Day with University of Miami head coach Katie Meier, Joe Zagacki with Josh Darrow talking University of Miami women's basketball. The Hurricanes 6-1 in conference play. But as Coach reminded us during the commercial, Murderers Row coming up, Coach, and it begins with the Blue Devils of Duke. And by the way, when Josh and I were at Duke a couple of weeks ago,
She knows.
we saw a very nice picture, and the picture in a big frame was you.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
We had to stop and we took a
does-
picture of the picture.
Well, let's just say I was a late bloomer.
The hairdo,
Oh, it was hot.
very
It was
in
hot.
style, very in
Well,
style.
I mean, it was, the 90s.
True.
Meanwhile,
Sort of. Late 80s.
going to Duke is a tough challenge.
It is. It's a great environment, and I think we're at the stage in our program where I think last year we had those signature wins where we went up against top 25 teams and beat a couple of them, and that established us as a team that was threatening. A little different mentality now. We're threatening, but we're also chasing in the standings, and that's fun. It's not just a once in a while. Hopefully, we can knock off a Duke, or Maryland, or North Carolina, but we have to think in terms of we need to do that in order to be in the top 4 of the ACC and get a bye in a conference tournament. So it's a real shift, and coming out of those next 3 games, that'll tell us where we're at.
Coach, you talk about your team and last year to this year, you're threatening, chasing, but now you're 6-1.
Right.
So that sort of has to embolden your team as you take on these next 3 games. That the mindset, the confidence, that's all laid in for a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, it is. And you set yourself up by winning games at home. And we've done that. We've taken care of ACC, and we started with 2 road games. So the schedule has been good for us early. And now it flips, and it's really, really, really difficult. And we're at Duke, and we're at Carolina, and then we get a home game, but it's Maryland. So those are all ranked teams and all awesome teams. But we're ranked too, and we've got to change that mentality and just go into the game thinking that they should be fearing us just as much as we're respecting them.
Speaking of fearing you, you've got 2 of the leading scorers in the ACC, and then you have Morgan Stroman, who's been outstanding for you. What do you think, or who do you think the opponent has at the top of their scouting report? What do you think it might say?
Well, I think they start with Mo and Bay. I mean, there's no question that those 2 kids are so dynamic, and they have the ball in their hands so much for us. But then you have somebody like a Stephanie Yiderstrom who comes up in overtime against Georgia Tech and hits 2 crucial threes because the opponent was double teaming and swarming Bay and Mo. So the savviness of my 2 guards to know that when they're double teamed, game on the line, kick it to the shooter and hit those 2 threes, that's where we're special this year.
You look at the body and talk about being special. You pull out the box score from this past week, and Raquan Williams 27 points.
Right.
Raquan Williams 20. It's like, did I read? Wait, am I on the right page? Am I looking at the same the different box scores or the same box scores? Because to get that kind of consistency is huge.
It's so funny because we just expect her to score. And we game plan just, okay, she's going to score. Now what else? And, I hate to feel like someone that special is underappreciated, but in a sense, she has so much pressure on her to score that we build everything around that. Or how are they guarding her? How are they guarding Mo? What do we do then? So they just carry a lot. Those 2 kids just carry so much on their shoulders and do so much for us. But it allows somebody like a Morgan Stroman, Stephanie Yiderstrom, Crystal Saunders, even Chanel Williams, big weekend for us. So that allows them to emerge. And I think that when we're all on in the same game, we're going to be successful against top 10 teams. But until that happens, we've got to put a little too much on Bay and Mo.
Well, in the Boston College game, you put some on Sylvia Bullock, and she delivered for you.
Yeah, Sylvia Bullock with a pull-up jumper, to tie the game or take the lead. So, that's what's fun about this team. They all accept their roles. They want to expand them, and they're willing to expand them. And when we need them, they usually do step up and expand them. So, it's not just a 2-man show.
Is it that you talk about fun as a coach? I know sometimes the games can be a wear and tear, but when you have those kind of star players and then you have the complementary players, is it fun to kind of sit in your office and do that coaching chess match where you can kind of draw up some plays and kind of tweak things, or as the game evolves, as matchups evolve? You talked at the end of the Georgia Tech game that they provided some matchups that allowed you to exploit them and help get the win. Is that sort of when you come down to it? There's so many fun aspects of this job. That's got to be one of them.
Well, it is, and we try to keep it real simple. My coaching staff gives me a bunch of information during the game, but I always just choose the simplest one. We do have 2 very special attack guards. So we're going to start there. And then we're going to build from that conclusion. And so, if they're playing with energy and they're playing tough, it makes it pretty easy. The problem arises is when we're a little flat or we're hesitant, and then I have to kind of pull something out of the bag. And that's what happened in the first half of Georgia Tech. We were so fortunate to just be down 7 at halftime. I mean, down 7 at home at halftime, you'd think a coach would be angry. I went into that locker room saying, we are very fortunate. This should be a 15-point ball game. We've got to turn this thing around. We've got to turn it around by the 8-minute media, and that's exactly what happened.
Coach, you mentioned you have the attacking guards, but how do you deal with size? When you play some teams that have had size, how do you deal with that?
We foul them out. I mean, to be, that's what we do.
Great answer.
No, we go into the game with that mentality. We start. You'll see us in the first half, and I know the crowd kind of goes, what are they doing? They don't look the same. We're going to concentrate a couple possessions here and there on isolating some people to get them in foul trouble. And we might not even score on that possession. And it might be a setup for later. But I'm going to remember it. I'm going to go back to it at a crucial time. So our first 10 possessions of a basketball game are something that I have in mind that I think need to happen throughout the course of the game.
Well, you're going to be proud of me because I've been working on my jump shot. And the reason I've been working on my jump shot is because when Hurricane Game Day returns here on CSS, we're going to introduce you to one of the best shooters in the country, Bebe. That's what they call her. Raquana Williams joins us after the break right here on CSS.
Welcome back, everybody, to Hurricane Game Day. Josh Darrow, Justin Antwell, and Raquana. You want to introduce yourself?
You got me.
Raquana Williams, otherwise known as Bebe. So let's start with the nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get the nickname from, and who gave it to you?
Pretty much my family. I'm the baby of 5, so like my brother. Like it was kind of a prank, like Bebe Kids, and then because I didn't know what Bebe Kid was, so it's like, all right, you'll be the baby. So
let me ask you this: does anyone call you Raquana? Does everyone call you Bebe? And who left in your life would still call you Raquana?
Actually, my family call me Quana.
Quana.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll call me Unique for my middle name.
All right.
So, not many Raquana.
Not many. Mostly Bebe.
Mostly Bebe.
Bebe, just how special has this season been for your ACC's leading scorer? I mean, how much fun is your team having right now?
So much fun. Like just the love that we have for each other. We're having so much fun.
When did you realize this team was going to be special? Was it last year's WNIT run when you saw the potential? Was it the win over Georgetown? Was it summer workouts? When did you realize that your squad could have a chance to do something great this year?
When we started being hard on each other, when coach didn't have to step in and be like, okay guys, do this, when we started jumping each other and like getting in each other's shorts and wanting to be great.
Raquana, you've had a nice run here to start the season. Was there ever a point during the year where you felt like it kind of got contagious, all that winning got contagious, and that confidence just got greater?
Yeah, yes. It starts in practice. So, like it all started in practice. Like just getting confidence and energy from Shanice and stuff.
You guys are the 2 leading scorers in the ACC. That must be a lot of fun in terms of in terms of accolades and whatnot, but also in terms of production. But we also know in talking that you can never pass the ball backwards to Shanice, right? So if you're in the lead, you always have to take the shot.
No.
No?
No. I take my chances. I take my chances. I'll pass backwards. If it's 2-on-1 and it's me and Shanice, I'm gonna pass it to her, no matter what. Like I take my chances and get taken out the game. So I'm gonna pass backwards, even though I shouldn't, but I will.
Bebe, how have you matured in your 3 years here at the University of Miami thus far? Your freshman year, you played sparingly. I mean, I know you were a bit injured. Last year, second team All-ACC, and this year you're really clicking on all cylinders. How have you matured?
Listening to my coach, doing exactly what she told me to do to be great. Not being hard-headed, like giving my all every time I go on the court. Just doing everything I need to do for the team to win.
And your assist numbers and rebounds are up this year. Are you really becoming an all-around player, not just a sheer scorer?
Try my best. Try my best. It's not all about scoring.
How many times have you taken extra shots after practice with one of the managers or one of the assistant coaches or with Coach Meier?
Every practice. After every practice.
You're from Pahokee, so it's not too far from Miami.
Where am I from?
Pahokee.
Okay.
Right, what I say?
Yeah.
Right, did I get that right or wrong?
Yeah, you got it right.
I got it right. That's what I thought. You're from Pahokee. So, but you don't spend a lot of time at home, right?
No.
Because you can't get better at home, right? You can only get better if you put time in the gym.
Being here, this is my home. I mean, this is the best place for me right now. So.
What's your style of play? Your team creates a lot of turnovers, a lot of steals, a little bit of a different style than a year ago. But you said that the team is bought in, and it's a lot of fun. Why?
It's a lot of fun. We know each other. We know what each other's gonna do. Like, I know if somebody, the offensive player beat me, that Morgan had my back. Like, still gonna step up and take a charge. I'm always gonna steal the ball. So.
And your cousin is Alphonso Smith, right? The NFL defensive back. So did he teach you any kind of tricks about how to make some steals in the backcourt and anticipate some passes?
Not really. I mean, I hardly get to talk to him now, so he's always busy. He came down for the Clemson game, and then he had to go back up.
With the team having so much success, are fans around campus and students kind of recognizing, the Miami Hurricanes women's basketball players now in the cafeteria and the food court?
Yes, it's a lot of fun. Even the professors took a whole class to talk about basketball. So it's kind of cool just to get that recognition and people like finally realizing that we're a pretty good team.
All right, Raquana Williams, Bebe Quana, we got all the names down. We'll be back with more Hurricanes Game Day right after this.
And welcome back to Hurricane Game Day here on CSS with University of Miami head women's basketball coach Katie Meier. Josh Darrow also with me. Well, try not to look past too many of the big games. As we mentioned, you got Duke and Maryland, Carolina coming up. But your squad, this one that's having success, this is a team that has grown up together.
Right.
And they lost their share of games, and now maybe some of that experience from the first couple of years is paying off.
There's no question. The poise at the end of the game, the lessons learned. I keep a lot of timeouts in my pocket now that I had to call last year, but this year, I can kind of look at them and they'll look at me and understand, the game in the moment. I trusted our defense last night against Georgia Tech, down 2, didn't call a timeout because Georgia Tech was out. And I just said to the team, I don't want them to set a play. And they're, okay, coach. And Georgia Tech's, 8th player off the bench hit a bucket to force overtime. That's okay. As long as it wasn't their leading scorer and it wasn't a 3, we took care of business there and got overtime win. So it's just a different team. There's a different mentality, and I'm doing a lot less coaching late game.
Coach, 21 games in a row at home. You start building up numbers like that. That's a pretty impressive stat. Plus, it shows that coming here into Miami, that's a tough task for the opponent, and we know how important the home environment in college basketball. We talked about emotion earlier in the show, but how important emotion is when you're on the floor for the crowd. Right.
Well, there's no question in my mind that crowd, the Georgia Tech crowd, made the difference in the ball game because we had no reason to celebrate. There was nothing happening for us until about 10 minutes left in the game. We were stalled out. We were hesitant. We lacked confidence. We didn't have any swag. Nothing. And the crowd just reacted to a couple of threes, and what was great was Bay hit the first 3, and then Bay got swarmed and kicked it to Mo, and Mo hit the second 3, and a 10-point game became a 4-point game in 2 possessions by the 2 stars, but they shared the basketball with each other. And the crowd erupted, and I thought, we got a chance.
Crowd gets another chance when you come home against Maryland.
Oh, my God, we're going to need a huge crowd. Last time we played at Maryland, we beat them there, and we snapped their home game winning streak, 56 or something like that, and they had 5,000 people there plus. And so we need to get a good environment for this one.
And another suggestion would be to check out for more information on the University of Miami women's basketball team to go to hurricanesports.com, hurricanesports.com. We'll have all of your information, not only on University of Miami women's basketball, but football, men's basketball, baseball, tickets, and all kinds of merchandise as well, all at hurricanesports.com. It's a new and improved University of Miami website, hurricanesports.com. Now for Josh Darrow and University of Miami head coach Katie Meier. Come on out and see the Hurricanes play, Maryland. Thanks for joining us here on Hurricane Game Day here on CSS. So long, everybody.
So easy for her.
Williams, nifty move.
I mean, like a football player going through an offensive line.
Johnson, baseline. Yeaterstrom, corner.
That's a willing passer in Shanice Johnson, and why she's one of the most versatile players.